You know, I had a dream the other night, and God shows me a lot of things through my dreams and through my visions. So, I had this dream about hell, that I was in hell, and God was showing me what it was like. I didn't know how to interpret it at first. It took me a couple days actually to think about this dream. It was so deep and profound. It was so real. And it took me a minute to interpret it. So I had to sit and meditate and think about it over and over to realize what God was showing me. God has showed me a lot of things about heaven and hell. I've seen what New Jerusalem looks like, which is the new heaven coming. The new heaven, New Jerusalem. I seen it in my dream coming down from heaven, and it was all gold. It was huge, just like a big oversight of a massive city with tall gold buildings and different colors like red, blue, green, rubies, diamonds, whatever you can imagine. And it was just coming out of heaven. And I seen the overview of it. And I seen what it'd be like. And I seen what hell would be like. And God showed me these things to share with you, to give you the exact idea of what it's going to be like. You need to be warned about hell more than anything, because it's the separation from God. You fear God because He holds those keys to heaven and hell. He decides whether you go to heaven or whether you go to hell when you die. Nobody else got those keys. But it's our choice, though. It's our choice to follow Him. He's not gonna force you to do anything. We choose. We choose heaven or we choose hell. There is only two sides, and I said this before. There's the good side and there's evil. There's darkness and there's light. There's God and there's the devil. There is only two sides, and if you're in the middle, the devil owns that side. He owns that fence. He owns every fence router. He owns everybody who don't know what to do or don't know what decision to make. The devil already got you. You already chose your side. You might as well just pick, because the devil already has you. And I hate to say that, but that's the truth. When I had this dream, there is so many different levels and stages of hell. It is not just one spot, one place, fire. It's not just that. Hell is separation from God, and I felt what that was like. God showed me what that was like, man. And so I'm boom. I'm dreaming this. I'm in hell, but I'm on the outside of it, watching what happens if I went to hell, if I was actually there. So I'm on the outside watching myself, but I'm actually in there at the same time. So I'm in there, and it's like a big massive circle, like 50 yards all around. Just a huge massive circle around me, and there's trash all around me covering me up, and then all I see above me is just darkness. It's like looking at the sky with no stars, no clouds, just darkness. So there's just a bunch of trash all around me, surrounding me. And in the middle of that, there's a big, still square. And I'm standing in the middle of that square, and I'm looking around, and all I see is trash around me going up so high until it disappears. And then there's a light kind of shining in the middle, so I could see all of it. And then darkness all above me. And then boom, all of a sudden, that still thing starts going down. And it goes down high enough that you couldn't at all jump far enough to get out of it. You were stuck down there, and you're looking up, and all you can see is the light shining in. So right in front of me was a steel door. And my spirit was like pushed through this steel door, and I'm trapped in a square almost like a prison cell with absolutely nothing in it. Just a cage. Excuse me. It was just like a room. Like a padded room with no padding. It's just like walls. Just a white wall, boom, steel door. And to get out of that steel door, I needed a key. I needed a key to get out of that steel door. And I seen somebody from the outside looking for me to give me that key. They was trying to find me to give me that key, and I'm down there screaming like, I'm down here, help me, I'm down here. My words were going nowhere. Nobody could hear me. They was far from me, and this person is looking for me to give me this key so I could get out. And I couldn't scream loud enough. They had no clue where I was. And I had to think about what that meant. What was the significance of that? What was God trying to show me? And then I realized God holds the keys to heaven and hell. And I was separated from him. So he couldn't give me the key. It was that separation from God. That was the worst feeling of all of that was going on. The feeling of fear and terror and being scared and anxious and nervous. That's what hell is going to give you. It's not about pain in this flesh. Just don't matter. You've had dreams before. You might have had nightmares before. And they felt so real. It felt real. You felt it on the inside. That's because that's your spirit, man. Everything is spiritual. It is a spiritual battle. This is a shell. This is a shell. How do you think I'm able to talk out of this shell? How do you think I'm able to operate it? What do you think is keeping me going? My spirit. So I started feeling separation anxiety. It's like when you're animal, if you have a cat, a dog, and they have separation anxiety and you leave, and the longer you're gone, the more they get sick and miss you. That's what it's like. And when you come back, you see how happy they are. They go crazy. They are so happy to see you because they love you so much. You're going to feel separation anxiety from God for all of eternity. For all of eternity in many different ways. Whether you believe God or you don't believe God, you're going to. People in hell, people who are going to hell, are going to look for God. They're going to scream out for God. And they're never going to find him. I've had a lot of dreams. I've had a lot of visions of hell and seen what it was like. But this was the worst one that I've ever had in my entire life. It stuck with me. It stuck with me, man. I was terrified. And the whole time I'm going through it, I'm on the outside of it, seeing what's happening. And God's showing me what's happening. And it's to warn you. It's to tell you. There are so many people claiming to be a Christian. You will need to reevaluate your life. Your whole life. If you think you're a Christian, just make sure you really are. Make sure you are really saved, and make sure your actions in your life actually line up with the Word of God. Are you even talking to God? Do you have conversations with him? Is he talking back? Because if none of that is happening, then you need to reevaluate. If you don't hear God's voice, you need to reevaluate. If you don't have a relationship with him and a connection, you need to reevaluate. You can't just pick up a Bible. You can't just go to church. And what sparked this, what really sparked this, is videos I started seeing about Carmelo Anthony and Metcalf. About people who claim they're Christians. You need to actually be aware, because there are wolves in sheep's clothing. So there will be people who claim to be Christians, but they really aren't. And what made me think about this was Carmelo Anthony's mother, when she was speaking. And she said, we put God first in our home. I didn't know what to think about that incident. And I'll talk more about that later on. But I didn't know what to think about that incident when it happened. And then I started following the evidence. And it was very easy to see. It was very easy to see what happened. The truth will always come out, especially nowadays. With cameras and phones, it's not just we can see things for ourselves now. We hear things for ourselves. And it's all we got to do is look it up on the phone. Boom. Just like that. But you follow the evidence. You don't just listen to the first person and believe what they're saying. Because if you go by that, you would be considered foolish. I seen one woman speak with conviction about God and about how there needs to be mercy for Carmelo Anthony. Now, granted, I believe that. I believe there needs to be mercy because he was raised by two idiots. God forgive me. He was raised by two people who claim they put God first in their home. But I don't think you do. I don't think they put God first in their home. Because at this kid's sentencing, you didn't even show up. They didn't even show up at his sentencing. Now, as a person who was incarcerated many times and stood in front of a judge many times, I could tell you the significance of that and how important it is to have somebody there by your side, just them being in the room and knowing there's somebody there that loves you, especially your own parents. Y'all cowards. And for Carmelo Anthony's father, for letting that woman speak and you not saying anything, you're a coward. You should have been on that microphone. You should have been talking, not her. I look at her, they're probably younger than me, man. Like, what did y'all teach that kid? What did y'all even teach him, man? Because you didn't teach him the right thing. I've been jumped before. I know what that's like. I've been in fights before. I won a couple, I lost a couple. It is what it is. You want to talk about self-defense? Okay. Self-defense would be stabbing somebody in the leg, in the arm, or something like that. If I'm in this situation where I'm about to get jumped or I'm about to get into a fight and I know I can't win it, I'm going to pull something out. I'm going to pull this out. And if I can't get to that, I'm going to pull this out. And if I can't get to that, I'm going to get to this. And in no way, shape, or form are you going to know how I'm going to use it. And if I can't get to that, somehow I'm going to get to this. I'm going to get to something. I'm going to get out of that. Self-defense. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to stick that in a man's heart. What was he taught? Because as parents, if I was a parent, I would teach my kid about self-defense. And in no way, shape, or form would self-defense look like sticking. He didn't even have a knife. He had some kind of prison shank, like he was already ready for it. And he stuck it in his heart. I would never teach my kid, as a man of God, that is self-defense. These people are claiming they are Christians. They are claiming God. Just because you claim it doesn't mean you have it. I can claim that I got $1 million right here on my desk. I could tell you right now with conviction that there's $1 million sitting on my desk right now. $1 million. Think I'm lying? Yeah, I am lying. I don't have $1 million on my desk, but I just said it with conviction. I said I had it with conviction. I claimed that I had $1 million, and I said it to you with conviction. You see how easy that is? You see how easy that is to fake that? To do that? People need to be warned. Some people who claim they're Christian, people like Kenneth Copeland and Bob Larson, those people are going to die in their sin because they are so far gone. They're so far convinced, but it's not too late for everybody, man. That don't mean it's too late for you. It is not too late because we're at the end time. It's the end game. Like the Avengers, that's real talk though. This is the end game. We're in the end times. Look at what's going on and everything that aligns with the Bible. Joshua 24:14 and 15 says, choose you this day who you will serve. Choose you this day who you will serve. Because if you ain't serving God, you're serving the devil, whether you know it or not. And for people who's claiming to be Christians, one thing that makes me sick to my stomach, and when I seen this woman claim that they put God first in her house, well, the evidence don't line up with that. Because what your kid is doing, it don't line up with that. I'm sorry. The evidence does not line up that you put God first in your home. It don't line up. It don't add up. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. And I'm going to talk way more about that whole situation and the racist war that it started. And how Metcalf's father, who's a Christian, he said he was a Christian. Now, I watched both of their videos. And I'm looking because I have discernment of the spirits. That's a gift from God. It's in the book of Thessalonians, I believe. Or it's Corinthians. It talks about different gifts you can have from God. Like strong faith, being a prayer warrior, discerning spirits, the miracles by touching people and healing them. A lot of people have these gifts. Everybody has different gifts. One of the gifts I have is visions, dreams, discerning of spirits. So when there's an evil spirit close by, I feel it. I can tell if somebody has the spirit of God. I could tell within a second of watching them. I could tell if they got God. And I'm looking at her talk. And I watched everything she had to say. And then I watched everything Metcalf's dad had to say. And I'm looking at both. And with her, within seconds, I seen she did not have the spirit of God. And then as soon as she claimed God, I was like, okay, all right, I see what that is. But I continued to watch what she had to say. And I watched everything Metcalf's dad had to say. He tried to go and pray with them. Before anything got started, before anything turned into, oh, this is about race. First of all, was that situation? I know I'm talking about it. I'm going to speak about this more, I promise, but this all connects. It all connects. So, I'm listening to him talk, and he did try to go pray with them, and they denied him. So, okay. This man who was willing to forgive your son for sticking a knife in his son's heart, and he forgave your son, and he wanted to come pray with you, and you said no, he should be the one saying no. He should be the one. He's the one that got every right to be mad. He's the one who lost someone that he loved, someone precious to him, his own son, and y'all denied him. Y'all denied him. He came to pray with y'all, and y'all denied him. The nerve. What does the Bible say about forgiveness? What does the Bible say about forgiveness? Let's look it up then. Let's look it up. Right here.
phone.
What did Jesus say about forgiveness? Hold on.
Hi, what can I do for you? Speak into the phone.
What did Jesus say about forgiveness?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Yes, you did. What did Jesus say about forgiveness?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
You see that? You talk about Jesus anywhere. That's crazy. That's crazy. That you don't understand what I'm saying? I said it clear as day. Alright, so let's type it in. What did Jesus say about forgiveness? And this is how easy it is. This is how easy it is, man. If you don't know something, look it up and follow the evidence. It's that easy. Forgiveness. All right. Jesus made it clear that a refusal to pardon other people prevents God from pardoning you. What's that mean? Refusing to forgive other people means God will refuse to forgive you. So this man who's claiming to be a Christian and this woman and this couple, these parents who were claiming they're Christians, both of them claim they're Christians, one of them is lying. So I'm watching the videos and I'm thinking, which one of y'all is lying? Which one of y'all is telling the truth? Which one of y'all? You got this man over here who is now pissed off, who has now reached his limit. He's not a preacher. He's not a pastor. We are at different levels. Okay? I'm a teacher. I'm anointed. I'm appointed by God directly. I'm ordained. I can talk about this stuff. All right. Now there's certain things, there's different levels, different roles, different positions. This man is just a Christian. He is just a man of God. All right. But he's pissed off. He's reached his limit. Now he's cussing. Now he's really getting mad, getting into the camera. Now he's mad because he tried to go about it the right way. He did it the right way. He forgave. He went to pray with y'all and y'all turned him away. So y'all refused to forgive. Y'all ain't even got nothing to forgive. He's the one. They are the victims in this situation. So people who refuse to forgive, and how do you forgive? You forgive by letting go. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's for you. It's for the sake of your own soul. Because Jesus said, if you don't forgive people who trespassed against you, then I will not forgive you. Because it's a forgiveness. When Jesus died on that cross, when they nailed those freaking, what are like freaking crossroad, those big steak nails, that's what they are, into both his wrists and into his feet. And when he died on that cross, it was to forgive the sins of humanity. That was the whole reasoning, to forgive us, because he said they don't know any better. They don't know what they're doing. But you have to claim that. You have to claim it. You have to believe it. You have to live it. And if you're not doing that, you have to reevaluate. So that, I'm looking at that whole situation. And once again, all of this connects into people who claim to be a Christian, people who really are and really aren't. So as I'm watching her video and I'm watching his video, and like I said, that man didn't say one word. Not one freaking word. You should have been on the front line. As a man, we protect. It's inside of us. It's an instinct. It's like a reflex. It's a reaction to protect people we love and people that surround us. That's what we do. It's natural. So he should have shielded her from all of that was going on. And he should have been on the front line. He should have been the one in that mic talking. But he wasn't. She was. Now, who was talking on the behalf of Metcalf? His dad. As it should have been. So I'm watching those videos and I'm thinking, okay, this is very easy to follow. It's not hard to follow. But a whole race war has started because of it. A whole race war. But thank God there's still people who really have God in their life. You have to really check yourself. Do some soul searching for yourself. For the sake of your own soul, man. Because the worst thing that I ever felt and experienced, the worst thing that God has ever shown me, that I never seen in my life, that I never felt in my life, that I've heard about, and I never really talked about this specific part about being in hell, is the separation from God. God showed me what that was like. He made me feel what it was like so I could tell you. I had to feel it. I had to feel it for you. I had to feel it so I could tell you, so I could warn you that you don't want it, man. Because it's forever. It don't stop, man. You are going to be crying for God and He won't find you. He's not going to be able to find you. It's going to be too late, man. You can't get to hell and then decide you want to be saved and decide you want to believe in God, because it's going to be too late. This is our chance. We have all the opportunity in the world right now to decide that, to believe that. I had to feel that and see that, man. I had to witness that to explain it to you, to tell you, to warn you. I had to feel that pain. So you ain't got to feel that pain. I was the worst. I seen many visions and many dreams of hell. And the worst part of it was the separation from God. And I've heard people talk about it, and I had no idea what it'd be like until I had that dream the other night. I knew hell would be bad. I know a lot about it, but that's one part I didn't really know about. That's one part I didn't get to see, and God showed me, so I can tell y'all, you don't want that, man. Just believe, man. Call out to God, and He'll answer you. If you're not hearing His voice, you need to reevaluate. You can pray, but if you're not hearing Him talk back, if you're not seeing something, if you're not feeling a connection, something is off, and you need to reevaluate. I see so many people claim Christianity, and Christ is nowhere to be found. I don't see it. I'm watching all these videos of all these people like Kenneth Copeland, or regular people just like me, regular Christians, preachers, teachers, pastors, bishops, women, children, claiming Christ, but not everybody has Him. So if you think you have Him, make sure that you do, because you don't know when your time's gonna be up. I've lost so many friends to so many different things, and I guarantee you they was not expecting to die. And they died young, my age or younger. I had a friend who was tatted on my arm, man. He had so much heart. He was a true friend of mine, and he was drunk with his friends one day, and he was driving. And he was doing 90 miles an hour. He hit a curb, ran into a house, the car crushed. 4 people in the car, 1 survived. He was the one driving. He was so disfigured, man. They had to have a closed casket. I bet you he wasn't expecting that, though. My buddy Sam, when he overdosed on drugs because he was in so much pain, I bet you he wasn't expecting that. When the dude that I knew, when he overdosed and fell into my arms and just dropped, I bet you he wasn't expecting that. When I overdosed and almost died, I wasn't expecting that. When a friend of mine was burned alive in her own home and locked in from the outside, I bet you she wasn't expecting that. We don't know what to expect. So that's why right now gotta be the time for you to choose this day who you're gonna serve. This shit is real, man. This ain't no fairy tale. This ain't no Santa Claus. We just go by tradition after tradition after tradition, and we've become so numb to God that we became so a part of this world. That's why I consider myself a true off-scourer. We are not of this world. We're just in it. We live in it, but we are not of it. We belong to another world, a greater dimension. Heaven. We're the filth of this world. That's what we are considered, because this world is Satan's playground. This is where Satan gets to play. And he's got a lot of people. But God is greater. We fight battles, and some of those battles may be lost, but the war has already been won when Jesus died on the cross. The war was won. It was over. There's not going to be that was it. Evil cannot overtake good in any way. It cannot prevail in any way against God. Lucifer tried to overthrow the throne of God. Him and a third of the angels who were deceived were kicked out of heaven for doing that. And God created their own hell. And we are in the middle of it. And there's a war going on for our souls. But God is not going to force you, because God said, look how easy it is to believe. He was in the Old Testament, it was foretold of Jesus' forecoming. And there was people who didn't believe. When Jesus came to this earth and showed himself, showed miracles, and spoke, there was people who still didn't believe. And they seen him. And to this day, there are still people who don't believe after all that time has passed. How? Because Satan will play with your mind. He will get you. He will do anything possible to get you to not believe in God. To believe that God's not real. To come up with all these different religions so you don't know what to follow, so you're confused. But God is not the author of confusion. So if you're confused, God ain't a part of that. The devil is. The devil is cunning, deceiving. He's sneaky. He's tricky. That's what he does. He's a snake. He will sneak up on you like a snake would do. He will play with your mind. So now, today is the day of salvation. Nothing's going to change that. It's the end is coming, and nothing's going to change that. And we, for whatever reason, were chosen to be a part of this specific period in time. And we all got a role to play. And some people are playing roles they ain't got no purpose playing. Some people are behind the camera talking and they ain't got no purpose. They should not be doing it. Not everybody is meant to do this. Not everybody is meant to speak on this, because like I said, there's going to be wolves in sheep's clothing and people who get behind the camera and claim that they got God, and it's just another way to trick you. Just like when I walked into a church when I was a kid. A church, of course a church claims God, right? So when I walk into this church as a kid that I was forced to do, not by my parents, but as kids, in a way we were kidnapped, me and my brother. It's a long story. But we was forced to walk into this church. And I'm looking around and I'm terrified. You should not be scared or feel any type of way about walking into a church. I was a kid. I was maybe 5 or 6 years old. And I knew God wasn't in that building. I was 5 or 6 years old and I knew something wasn't right. I was 5 to 6 years old and I knew something wasn't right about this place. I'm seeing people convulsing. I'm seeing this pastor put his hands on people and they're falling out on the ground convulsing and everybody's shaking and speaking in fake tongues. And I knew it was fake. I was a kid. I was a baby and I knew it was fake because the discerning of spirits is always inside of me. I would say, and I could be wrong about this, the number might be more, but I would say 85% of kids naturally believe in God. And if you don't believe me, I dare you to ask him. I said this before. I dare you. But most of you won't do it because you're scared to find out the truth. Because you don't believe in God, you don't want to believe in God, you don't want your kid to believe in God. Ask your kid. Ask your 5, 6, 3, 7-year-old kid right now, if they believe in God. You may have never spoke to them about God in your life. Ask them. Then I guarantee you, the majority of the time, they're going to say yeah. They're going to say yeah. Even if you teach them about Santa Claus, they're going to say yes. Try it. I dare you. I dare you to try it. And most of you won't because you're scared that they're going to say yeah. They're going to say yep. And you never talked to them about it, never had a conversation about it, never went to church or nothing, and they still believe. You know, a long time ago, my mentor said, you're going to have to do things for people. You're going to have to pray for people, and you're going to have to fast for people. And I haven't exercised that enough. You know, but God's showing me that it's time for me to step up for other people, because now it's not just about me. It's about me. God's showing me, like, you got to show people what I'm showing you. You got to tell people what I'm telling you. I asked God a long time ago that I want this, I want that, but I wasn't asking for nothing other than understanding of heaven and hell, knowledge, and wisdom. And that's why I am so connected with the books of Psalms, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes. Those are the books of wisdom, and those are the books that I relate to, and my spirit is connected to the most. And I asked God for that position. I asked God, I said, I want to teach. And this is when I'm really first coming into, you know what I mean? Like, really growing in my relationship with God. Like, my first time really stretching my hand out. And that's what I asked of him, and he gave it to me. You know how they say, be careful what you wish for. But at the same time, man, I wouldn't have it no other way. I wouldn't take it back. But I have to play that part. Because God's showing me to show you this is the truth. What I'm telling you is the truth. If you don't believe me, follow the evidence. I don't expect anybody to just believe me. Follow the evidence, and it will lead you right to where you need to be. And you know what? I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to give you names. I'm going to give you names of preachers and pastors that are trustworthy. And I'm going to give you the names of the ones to stay away from. The main names that we see most often. I'm going to give you those names in another video. I asked for a responsibility, and for the longest time, I somewhat ignored it. Not that I didn't practice these things, but not as much as I should have. And that was my responsibility to do that. Excuse me. See, we can use this new technology we have for good, or we can use it for evil. Everybody has a chance nowadays and a platform to speak their mind and to give their opinion. Not everybody should, but everybody does. But what are you going to use it for? I've wasted a few years of doing some stupid vape reviews when I should have been doing this the whole time. But at least I learned from that. At least I grew from that. At least I didn't die in that. Because when I go, it's going to be in Christ's arms. And you got to decide the same thing. Please make the right choice, man.